So a little while ago, Emerson College released a brand new poll that I really want to talk about because it kind of debunks a lot of the narratives surrounding Trump that people are pushing. Now, I want to be clear about one thing. Emerson College is not perfect. Sometimes they had some bad polling. I'm not denying that. But the majority of the time, Emerson College is a good pollster. The people saying they're not, they're full of crap. The majority of the time, they're good. And when they release a poll like this, it tends to be accurate. Again, is it perfect? Of course not. No pollster is perfect. But Emerson College released their brand new poll for the 100-day mark of Trump's presidency. Yeah, it's been 100 days, which it seems like just yesterday he got inaugurated, but we're finally at the 100-day mark, and Emerson College released their brand new poll. A new Emerson College polling national survey that marks 100 days of the Trump administration finds President Trump with a 45% job approval and 45% disapproval. 10% are neutral. Since the 50-day Emerson poll, the president's approval has decreased by 2 points, while his disapproval has not changed. Yeah, Emerson College found that while it is true that his approval has gone down, it's not by 30 points overnight. No, since the middle of March, it has swung like, 2 points? And it's not his disapproval went up. All that happened was his approval went down since the middle of March. Now, compared to early January, yeah, his approval has gone down and his disapproval has swung upwards. But it's not this 70-point collapse like some people are claiming. I mean, guys, remember, just a couple days ago, everyone was saying, oh, Trump collapsed 30 points overnight. But Emerson College, a good pollster, they're finding, no, there's a decrease in approval, but it's not a 15-point swing overnight. No, since the middle of March, it went down 2 points, and his disapproval, funny enough, went up. Actually, no, it didn't go up. It stayed the same. Which, I've been saying this for a while, that Trump's approval, it's probably underwater right now. I'm not denying that, but it's not by 20 points. If it is underwater, it's by like 3 to 5 points. And that's what Rasmussen reports found. They found Trump's approval underwater, but worst case scenario for him, it was like -5. But right now it's like -3. So even the polls that have Trump below water, the good ones, most of them are showing it's by a couple points, but it's not by 15, 20 points like the New York Times is showing. Now, again, it is entirely possible that the New York Times, Reuters, ABC News, maybe they're all correct. Which I find that very unlikely because, guys, these same pollsters in 2024, they were claiming Harris was surging. She was going to win every single swing state. She was going to win the popular vote by like 5. It's all over. And, well, we all know what happened. Trump won easily. Yet these same pollsters are back. And even then, I made a whole video a couple days ago talking about, hey, the New York Times poll, they're oversampling Harris voters. They're saying that Harris won the popular vote with young people by 30 points. It's like, wait, what? That's not what happened. But that's what these polls are finding. They're finding these new Harris voters that never existed. But Emerson College, meanwhile, right now it's 50-50. But in my opinion, the most important part of this poll isn't really Trump's approval. I know that seems kind of crazy, and yeah, his numbers have gone down. But in recent weeks, there's been this weird argument by people on Twitter claiming that Trump's approval has gone down 50 points overnight, and a bunch of Trump voters, they all regret their vote for him. That's been the argument. Like, there's some people on Twitter claiming, yeah, I know 50 Trump voters, and half of them hate Trump now. They're orange man bad types, they resist liberals. That's been the narrative, all right? And that's what everyone's been saying. They've been saying, oh, if people could vote now, they would vote for Harris. Well, Emerson College asked, okay, do you regret your vote? Voters who participated in the 2024 election were asked how would they vote if they could go back in time to the 2024 election, knowing what they know now. All right, this is post-tariffs. This is post-trade war. This is when Trump, theoretically, should be at his weakest point. Okay, this is Trump at his absolute weakest since, actually, for many years now. So you would think, oh, all these Trump voters would hate him. No. 93% of Harris voters and 94% of Trump voters would still vote for the candidate that they voted for in 2024, giving Trump a 48% to 47% advantage. Yeah. More Trump voters are saying we're still going to vote for Trump than there are Harris voters saying we're going to vote for Harris. Yeah, that's what Emerson College found, and this broke everyone's mind because everyone was saying, oh, all these Trump voters, they hate him now and they're going to vote against him. Turns out that's bullshit. Again, this is post-election, this is post-tariff stuff, so you can't say, oh, well, this poll was conducted 5 months ago. No, this is after the trade war. This is after Democrats were claiming the economy is going to crash tomorrow, it's going to be worse than the Great Depression, inflation's going up 80% overnight, it's all over. After all that fear-mongering, all they could do is get 6% of Trump voters to say, I'm not voting for him. Yet more Harris voters right now are saying that. They're not going to vote for Harris again. So Trump still wins a popular vote, even after everything that happened, after all the deportation stuff, the immigration stuff, the trade war, the economy, all of it, which right now, Trump right now, theoretically, is at his lowest point in his presidency. Yet, he is still beating Harris in a rematch by a point, the same margin. Man, I could have sworn that Democrats were going to surge. Turns out, Trump voters, they understand what they voted for. This myth that, oh, the Trump voters regretted it. No. The vast majority of Trump voters, they knew exactly what they were voting for. That's a fact. This idea that, oh, they were lied to is bullshit. And is a cope by the Democrat Party and the mainstream media to claim that Trump is collapsing by 50 points. When in reality, the average Trump voter is saying, we voted for this. Right now, things may not be good, but it's going to take time, and I'm still going to support the guy. Despite several unpopular domestic and foreign policies, President Trump still holds an entrenched base of voters who, if given the chance, say they would vote for him again. Spencer Kimball, executive director of Emerson College Polling, said, areas of concern for the president include economic and foreign policy, with voters disapproving of his actions on tariffs and in the Russia-Ukraine war, while voters continue to be divided on immigration and deportation policy, which I would argue this whole immigration stuff where his immigration approval has sunk over the last few weeks, that's more response bias. I don't really buy that. Like, seriously, 5 weeks ago it was like plus 30, now it's like plus 1. I don't know about that. But even then, guys, these approval numbers should sink any president. He's unpopular on stuff like the economy, tariff stuff, the Ukrainian war. But right now, his voters are sticking with him. And that's because the average voter understands that, oh yeah, things might get bad right now. I may not, approve of everything going on, but his policies, they will work. And this is the biggest problem for the Democrat Party. Trump's approval right now is the weakest in his entire presidency. And that's a fact. It's, according to the mainstream media, it's negative 15, which is bullshit. But right now, even at the weakest stage of his presidency, they're still losing. They're still losing in a head-to-head matchup. The generic ballot, except for Fox News, is still even. Hell, the Republican pollsters are finding that in the swing districts, Republicans are actually doing better than they did in 2024. So, right now, the Democrat Party's in a lot of trouble. And I would argue this could backfire horribly for Democrats because they're losing right now. According to these same polls, they're still losing. They are still losing, and people trust the GOP and Trump on all these issues way more than Democrats. And if Trump gets a trade deal done with like China, India, all these big countries, if he ends the war in Ukraine, which we'll see what happens there, I really believe his approval will skyrocket. I'm not saying by 80 points overnight, I'm not saying that. But a lot of voters, they're just skeptical. They're saying, oh, hold up a second. The war in Russia is still happening. We have all these trade wars happening, and people are claiming inflation's going up by 80%. This ain't good. This isn't good whatsoever. But if voters realized, oh, wait, we got a deal done with, like, India, the tariff stuff is done, we're targeting China, we got fair deals done, and hey, all these companies, they're moving back here, they're going to say, yes, 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 that was worth it. Same thing with the war in Ukraine. If he ends the war in Ukraine, it's been proven. Like 65% of voters would give Trump credit for ending the war. So at this point, his approval, yes, it's below water. I'm not denying that. but not by as much as some people are claiming. And really, it's because of a couple of issues. It's really the war in Ukraine. It's really the trade war. It's the economy. If he gets two of those three things dealt with, especially the tariffs and the Ukrainian war sorted out, if he gets those two things dealt with, his approval is going to skyrocket overnight. Because we've had plenty of polls show, yeah, if Trump gets the war done in Ukraine, people will give him credit. People are saying, if he gets trade deals done with, like, India and stuff, we support that. That's why people are skeptical. Like, this happens. When Trump does something like this, it makes some voters kind of worried that, oh, wait, the war in Russia is still happening. We have all these trade war stuff happening. This ain't good. Maybe I'm not a big fan of this. But if he actually gets these deals done, these skeptical voters, they're going to say, oh, hell yes, I support this. This is what I voted for. In fact, I support Trump even more now. That's the thing holding him back. If he gets that dealt with, and again, it may not be overnight, but Democrats are taking such a stupid risk. Why would you bank everything on the trade stuff? Because if Trump gets a trade deal done, like 70% of people will agree with those deals. It's like 60% will say, I support what Trump did. Even though 5 minutes ago they're saying, oh, I hate Trump for doing this. They're going to realize, oh, this was worth it. Nothing really happened. Prices didn't go up by 80%. And in fact, we got a fair trade deal with, say, I don't know, India, Japan, South Korea, even China maybe. If that's what happens, which I think it will, these voters, they're going to support him. They're going to support him even more. That's why it was a stupid idea for Dems to do this. I mean, his voters don't regret anything. And in fact, there's been a bunch of these focus groups asking the same thing. Do you regret your vote for Trump in 2024? And the same thing is happening. Basically, no one. And in fact, the New York Times, they asked 12 Clinton, Biden, Trump voters. So basically, partisan Democrats in 2016 and 2020 that voted Trump in 2024, and only 3 of them said they regretted their vote for President Trump. The rest of them, there were 12 of them, the other one said, no, we do not regret our vote for President Trump. We may not like some of the stuff, we may disapprove of some of it, but I am not regretting my vote for President Trump. He's far better than the average Democrat. And the 3 Democrats that disapprove of him, they're white people from the Northeast. 2 of them are from New York, the other one is from Massachusetts. So that's the only demographic that he's doing worse with. Is older, I should say older, but older middle-aged white voters for the Northeast. That's the only demographic that really seems like they don't like Trump's policies. And they're saying, oh, my 401k is going down the shitter. It's all over. So that's it. The voters that you should see the biggest swing with, these Clinton, Biden, Trump voters, there's no swing. So if these voters aren't shifting, what do you think's happening with the average voter? The average Trump voter saying, we love this. We may not be happy with everything. We may want more done, but it's a good start. I may disapprove of the trade war, but I'm not going to break away from him. I'm going to support Trump till the very end because he's better than the Democrat Party is. I mean, if the Democrat Party was smart, they would be panicking right now. They would be losing their shit. They would be realizing, oh crap, we're in trouble. People don't like progressive policies. Wow, what a surprise. But no, the Democrat Party, they're going to blame racism and sexism, and they're going to triple down on their insanity yet again. And that's why I still think, I mean, Trump's in a good situation. Emerson College found he's in a good situation. And all these magical voters that regret their vote for Trump, they're non-existent. There's like 2 of them. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.